Getting myself all set up here. Hello, people. Wherever you are, if you're even there. Time to record a couple more episodes. As I told you, I'm constantly amazed at the fact that I'm able to find so much. I'm constantly amazed. Usually when I start writing this, I start writing about a week before, and it always seems like there's not going to be enough news to do a full size episode. And then somewhere, usually right about Friday, news blossoms out of nowhere, and I just find myself with an overabundance of news. And this is this week's episode. This week's episode, for both episodes are about 10 pages apiece. So, that's a good size episode. So, fall was yesterday. And if you're in the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, of course, that's spring to you. Hope you're enjoying it. Hasn't really been enjoyable so far. I mean, it's been the second hottest September on record. So for those of you who don't say climate change is real, you basic. The good place. Climate change is definitely real, and we're definitely getting, it's definitely not getting, better. It's kind of sad. We'll figure it out, or we'll cease to exist. So, I guess we'll see. So let me get my notes up here. For the sci-fi edition, gotta change my Stream Deck. The sci-fi edition. Alright, there we go. Get that done. Get me up here. Alright, we are all set. This is going to be kind of a sad episode. I'll add something to my notes here. Alright, well, get set up here. Yeah, I got one viewer. Hello, howdy. Getting ready to record here. Alright, I think I'm all set. I'm taking a drink here. Alright. Well, let's get ready to rumble. In 3, 2. Tonight, someone wants to make a new Star Wars holiday special. The tardigrade case gets decided, and we say farewell to the first Ferengi in Starfleet. All that and more on this edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. I just realized something. I never pushed record. Some days you're just not functioning on all cylinders. There's a bug flying around my microphone. So it's going to be one of those days, huh? Alright, let's try this again. Right? In 3, 2. Tonight, someone wants to make a new Star Wars holiday special. The tardigrade case finally gets decided, and we say farewell to the first Ferengi in Starfleet. All that and more on this edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight, episode number 42. You know, you put a show together, you think it's going to be a great episode, lots to talk about, then you get a piece of news that just kind of shakes you down a little. The death of Aaron Eisenberg was just such a piece of news. I got to meet him a while back at Planet Comic-Con when they had the veritable Ferengi-palooza with all the, basically, pretty much all the Ferengi. And he was very nice, very personable. And I just love the character of Nog. And to tell you the truth, I had got to see him a few years before that at another Ferengi, another Ferengi-based convention. Had kind of a Ferengi of a convention promoter, if I remember right. Deep Space Nine has always been one of my favorite Trek shows, and his death kind of hits home. But we'll talk about that later in the episode. Now, let's get into the Star Wars news.
Roger, roger.
The holiday season is just around the corner. Christmas trees are starting to fight for room with the Halloween candy. Star Wars celebrated the holidays once, with some hilarious and bizarre consequences. Well, Jon Favreau would like to repair that image with a brand spanking new Star Wars holiday special of his own. While speaking with Entertainment Tonight at the Saturn Awards, Mr. Favreau told them that he would like to see Disney Plus tackle the special, saying, quote, "I would love to do someday. Maybe on Disney Plus we'll do a holiday special too. Wouldn't that be wonderful?" Unquote. He went on to say, quote, "I gotta pitch that to them. We'll see. If you want Want to see a holiday special? Let Disney Plus know, unquote. So, would you like to see Jon Favreau make a new Star Wars holiday special? Well, I guess, we'd have to start tweeting Disney Plus now. Wonder if Lumpy would be there. And what do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already owns a comb? Speaking of the new streaming service, which is just a little under 2 months away. Can you believe it? I hope you're ready. A rumor has been making the rounds that a sequel to Solo, a Star Wars story, could be in the offing for Disney+. The rumor seems to come from Jeremy Conrad of StarWarsUnity.com. He wrote on his site, quote, "While we'll probably not see a sequel or continuation of Han's story, I've heard a rumor that some kind of spin-off set after the events of the movie is being developed as a Disney Plus series. As it probably wouldn't be about Han, Chewie, or Lando, some kind of underworld series dealing with the Crimson Dawn and other scoundrels sounds the most likely," unquote. So we're deep in rumor territory here, and while I do tend to stay out of rumors when reporting the news, I think this would actually be something interesting and something that I would like. I actually did like Solo. Hey, Disney Plus, come here. Give me the holiday special and some sort of Solo series. Okay? Can you do that? I mean, take my money. I've already given you my money. So here, take some more. In a recent episode to the Star Wars show on YouTube, they painstakingly figured out how much damage Han did to the Millennium Falcon during the Kessel Run sequence in Solo, a Star Wars story. How much was the damage? About 87,500 credits, give or take. Kind of makes you wonder why they wouldn't have just bought a new ship. Didn't they have farmers insurance? We are farmers. Boom, ba-dum, boom, 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 boom. Heck, the fact that the Falcon is still space-worthy in the current trilogy is nothing short of a miracle, when you think about it. So, you're chillin', watching A New Hope, and your eyes fall upon that one stormtrooper that bumped his head in that one scene. Yeah, ever think to yourself, I wonder what happened to that guy? Nope. Well, I guess we're gonna get the answer anyway. A UK documentary crew has set itself the task of finding the guy who bumped his head. Star Wars fans will learn which of 3 extras did the gaffe in the documentary mini-movie, which will be released this month. Apparently, the film will feature a number of celebrity cameos from Kevin Smith to Greg Grunberg. Jamie Stangram, the filmmaker, partially funded this on Indiegogo with the following description, quote, "The Empire Strikes Door is a fun mini documentary, 30 minutes plus, which aims to solve a Star Wars mystery. We know who Luke's father is. We know who stole the Death Star plans. We even know who shot first. What we don't know is the identity of the stormtrooper who cracked his skull against the Death Star door in one of the cinema's most famous bloopers. I want to track him down and relive his memories of that fateful day." It sounded simple until I actually started looking. It wasn't that I couldn't find him, it's that I kept finding more of him. I now have 3 suspects and no idea who to trust, unquote. The Empire Strikes Door will be available on September 25th on Stangram's YouTube channel. Yep. So, I guess that's tomorrow. I guess we'll get to find out. Anyway, let's head on over to some Star Trek news. Now we start Star Trek news with the next book in the Star Trek Discovery novel line, which arrived this December. This time focusing on Paul Stamets. Star Trek Discovery Dead Endless is written by Dave Gallantier, and the synopsis reads, quote, "The USS Discovery's specialty is using its spore-based hub drive to jump great distances faster than any warp-faring vessel in Starfleet. To do this, Lieutenant Paul Stamets navigates his ship through the recently revealed mycelial network, a subspace domain Discovery can briefly transit, but in which it cannot remain. After responding to a startling distress call originating from within the network, the Discovery crew find themselves trapped in an inescapable realm, where they will surely perish unless their missing mycelial fluid is found or restored. Is the seemingly human man found alone and alive inside the network the Starfleet officer who he claims to be, or an imposter created by alien intruders who hope to extract themselves from the mycelial plane at the expense of all lives aboard Discovery? Unquote. Stamets is getting quite a push lately. He's the featured character in the new episodes of Star Trek Online, and now he has a book. So I guess this month is all about this time. It's all about Stamets. CBS creative officer David Nevins is looking forward to Star Trek's future in the has yet to be merged Viacom CBS. Now, I reiterate, not yet merged, not done. Unlike some other podcasts, I like to have correct facts. And the facts are that a company isn't merged until it's merged. Anyway, Nevins spoke at a conference put on by Bank of America Merrill Lynch in Los Angeles. And according to Deadline, he said, quote, we really believe in not only serving inside our own ecosystem, but serving people outside. What we're trying to do right now with Star Trek is build that brand. We want to get younger and more relevant to people. Unquote. He also referred to the merger as creating a virtuous ecosystem where, quote, if you're smart about it, you can create a lot of value, unquote. Hey, as long as it's good content and not just content for, content's sake, I'm all for it. As for wanting to get younger and more relevant to people, well, define younger. It's already relevant. It's been relevant for decades. So I guess younger should be the word we're focusing in on here. Anyway, while we wait for this virtuous ecosystem to form, why not have a refreshing Romulan ale? But how do you make it? The How to Drink YouTube channel has a recipe for you to try. The recipe includes 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of simple syrup, 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of lime juice, 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of blue curacao, 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of Plantation 3 Star White rum, shake and strain. And if it's a non-alcoholic version you're looking for, they also had a recipe for a Romulan ginger ale. It contains half an ounce or 15 milliliters of lime juice, an ounce or 30 milliliters of ginger syrup, or with more to taste, 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of butterfly pea blossom tea, shake and strain, topped with seltzer. Now, does any of these recipes float your boat? Do you have your own recipe? If you do, be sure to share it with us over on social media. Maybe one day we'll have a big taste test. Ooh, that'd be making it for an interesting panel at a convention somewhere. Ooh. And now, an update to a story I did all the way back in episode 8 of the podcast last September. Where did September go? This September, last September, any September. Anyway, now I could make you stop and go download the episode and listen to the story, but let me just go over real quick. Anis Abdin is the creator of a 2014 indie game called Tardigrades. He was suing CBS and Netflix over Discovery for infringing on his creative property. His claims revolved around the show supposedly stealing the idea that an alien tardigrade is the key to interstellar transport, and humans are exploring this through a scientific breakthrough. He also claimed that the relationship between Paul Stamets and Hugh Culber is similar to one explored in the 2014 game. And also, the Discovery character of Stamets bore a striking resemblance to a character from his game. Now, if you want to read all about that from the man himself. There'll be a link to that in our show notes. Well, in a blog post this past Friday, Annis posted, quote, "I just returned from visiting Dad from the cemetery. I got the news that the judge ruled against me. I would like to thank everyone who supported me. I don't have enough words to describe my gratitude to everyone who believed in me and my case. I cannot thank my lawyers enough for believing me and fighting for me. I respect the ruling, and I expect everyone to do so. I'm not sure what happens to my project now or my independent game development career in general." Unquote. You know, I do feel sorry for him, so let's dig a little deeper here. Here's what the legal brief states, quote, "Defendant's motion to dismiss is granted because Star Trek Discovery and plaintiff's video game are not substantially similar as a matter of law in concept, characters, settings, and, quote, overall feel. In particular, the tardigrade in Star Trek Discovery is not substantially similar to plaintiff's tardigrade in concept, attributes, and overall feel." The brief then goes on to compare and contrast the video game and the show, saying, quote, "The plots of both works are similar solely to the extent that the characters go on adventures in space, and some of the adventures involve alien tardigrades. The common storyline of adventuring through space and discovering aliens is a scene affaire common to works that involve space travel, just as cowboys, bank robbers, and shootouts in stories of the American West get no protection. Alien contact and fictional stories about space adventures gets no protection. Moreover, the television series plot also involves subjects that are not part of the video game. The war between the Federation and Klingons, and the personal struggles of individual characters that involve redemption, growth, and fitting in as an outsider," unquote. U.S. District Court Judge Lorna Schofield granted CBS's motion to dismiss, ending the case. Now, let's head on over to the Geek News. MoviePass is no more. The theater subscription service notified subscribers that it was ending as of September 14th due to failure to raise new funds to keep it going. However, even though the service is dead, it still spawned theater chains like AMC, Regal, and Cinemark to start their own subscription services. Personally, I would be interested in such a service if I lived closer to a big city. Living 30 miles away and having only one local theater wouldn't make it worth my while. M. Night Shyamalan keeps finding work. I know. Fascinating, isn't it? The filmmaker is now developing 2 new thriller projects for Universal Pictures, according to Variety. The 2 movies, as of yet untitled, are scheduled for February 26, 2021 and February 17, 2023. Universal Studio President Peter Kramer said in a statement, quote, "M. Night Shyamalan continues to create exciting, highly original stories that keep global audiences on the edge of their seats. There is no one like him. He is a master filmmaker working at the height of his powers, and we are honored that he has once again chosen Universal to be the home for his next 2 incredible projects," unquote. According to Variety, M. Night will self-finance his next 2 films. Wheel of Time, Turn, Turn, Turn. Amazon's production of the Wheel of Time has started production. This year also marks the 12th anniversary of the death of Wheel of Time author Robert Jordan. According to a video released by Amazon to commemorate the occasions, showrunner Rafi Judkins said, quote, "Hey everyone, today is our first day of principal photography on the Wheel of Time television series, and for all of us, it's a little bit emotional because it is also quite coincidentally the 12th anniversary of the author Robert Jordan's passing. So as much as I'm excited about this new endeavor that we're all embarking on, I am also quite humbled and honored to remember the man who began all of this, Tushar Rigney." Unquote. The series stars Rosamund Pike as Moraine, a member of the mysterious organization called the Aes Sedai, as she leads a group of adventurers on a journey that could change their world forever. The final pieces are falling in place for next year's Ghostbusters movie. Original Ghostbusters, Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd have been confirmed that they will be returning to Ghostbusters. Dan Aykroyd confirmed his involvement during an interview of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. He told Joe, quote, "I'm not in the pictures so much anymore. We've got the Ghostbusters movie that we're working on now, and I will have to be performing in that. Ivan Reitman's son Jason has written a new movie called, well, it's going to be Ghostbusters, the third movie. It will be all most of the original people and then young stars," unquote. Ernie confirmed his involvement in a cameo video for a fan. The movie will be arriving in theaters on July 10th. According to a report from The Hollywood Reporter, Universal might be trying to do something with its monsters again. This time, it's with Paul Feig. The reporter has learned that he is behind a new project called Dark Army. This new project joins The Invisible Man, which comes in 2020 from Blumhouse. So what is the Dark Army? No one seems to know other than that it will be an original idea, and the rumors are circulating that will feature the classic Universal monsters, plus new Feig-created characters. So I guess we'll just have to keep our ears open. It's awards time, so let's look at who won this year's Creative Arts Emmys. The Creative Arts Emmys are, of course, the awards that are too numerous and, well, boring to be given out at the Big Emmy Awards show. So let's take a look at our genre winners. Short-form animated program went to Netflix's Love, Death, and Robots. The Simpsons won the Animated Program Emmy. The series now has more Emmys than it has seasons, with 34 wins. It would be 35, except Seth MacFarlane won for Best Character Voiceover for his performance work on Family Guy. Guest actress in a drama went to Sherry Jones as Holly in The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale also got the award for production design 1 hour more. Guest actor for Bradley Whitford. Prosthetic makeup for a limited series movie or special went to Star Trek Discovery. The Netflix series Russian Doll picked up an Emmy for production design half hour and one for contemporary costumes. But Game of Thrones really won big, getting awards for sound editing, special effects, costumes, non-prosthetic makeup, stunt coordination, drama, main titles, original dramatic score, casting for a drama, and sound mixing. They also picked up the award for outstanding drama, and Peter Dinklage walked away with the Emmy for outstanding supporting actor. Whew. Guess they wanted the show to go out big. So, who walked away the big winners? HBO walked away with 34 trophies this year. Netflix came in second with 27, and Amazon in third with 15. The rest of the traditional networks were all in the single digits, with ABC being completely shut out. Guess the Emmy voters are getting kind of tired of Modern Family. Now, for more award news, I'll have the Saturn Awards in the comics edition, so be sure to watch that in a couple of days. Or listen to it, as the case may be. Sid Haig has passed away. He will probably be known to the current generation as Captain Spaulding from Rob Zombie's trilogy, House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. But he also appeared in a variety of TV shows dating back decades, including Batman, Star Trek, and that was in the first season episode, The Return of the Archons, Mission Impossible, Gunsmoke, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Get Smart, MacGyver, and much, much more. His IMDb is huge. His movie credits also include THX 1138, Diamonds Are Forever, Foxy Brown, Jackie Brown, and Rob Zombie's Halloween reboot. Earlier this month, he was hospitalized after falling in his home in Los Angeles. He developed a lung infection while recovering and died on September 21st from complications due to the infection. He was 80 years old. And finally, some sad news. This past Saturday, the 21st, we got the news that Star Trek Deep Space Nine's favorite young Ferengi has passed away. Actor Aaron Eisenberg has passed away. The news was broken by his wife. Oh, hold on, I'm going to say this again. And finally, some sad news. This past Saturday the 21st, we got news that Star Trek Deep Space Nine's favorite young Ferengi has passed away, actor Aaron Eisenberg. The news was broken by his wife, Melissa Longo, on Facebook. Quote, It is with extreme regret and sadness that to announce that my love and best friend Aaron Eisenberg passed away earlier today. He was an intelligent, humble, funny, empathic soul. We sought to live his life with integrity and truth. He was so driven to put the best he had into whatever work he was put before him. He lived his life with such vigor and passion. He was like a breath of fresh air, because I knew I would always hear the truth from him, even if I didn't want to hear it, and even if the truth was inconvenient. He made me, and still makes me, want to be the best human I can possibly be, because he always strove to be the best human he could be. His resilience and willingness to learn was and is an inspiration. We didn't officially announce that we had eloped on December 28th, 2018. We were hoping to have a big shindig in celebration of our nuptials, but had to wait to save up the money. While our marriage on paper was a short one, our hearts had been married for far longer. I will be forever thankful for the time we had to love each other. 5 years felt like a lifetime in the best possible ways. There will never be another light like Aaron's. The beauty that he was and the legacy he leaves behind is beyond words. I love him dearly and will miss him eternally. At the moment, I'm not sure how to do life without him. He is and will always be my California." Unquote. Aaron Eisenberg was born on January 6, 1969 in Hollywood, California. His first role was in 1988, and he made appearances on Parker Lewis Can't Lose, The Wonder Years, and Tales from the Crypt. His big role came in 1993 on the second Star Trek spin-off, Deep Space Nine, as the Ferengi waiter Rom's son, Nog. His role was pretty small at first, but by the end of the series, Nog had become a fully fleshed-out character, having gone to Starfleet Academy and lost a leg during the Dominion War. He even revived the role for the game Star Trek Online as Captain Nog. He also guest starred on an episode of Star Trek Voyager as a Kazon youth. In recent years, it was revealed that Aaron had been diagnosed with kidney failure, having had been born with only one partially functioning kidney on his birth. On December 29, 2015, he received a successful kidney transplant, and he is survived by his wife and his 2 sons. Now, let's take a breather and take a look at the box office report. So, let's begin at number 10. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw fell from number 6 to number 10. It's raked in $170 million, so it's still doing pretty good. In fact, it's up. It was up in the theater count, so it got into 341 more theaters this week than last week. Overcomer fell from number 7 to number 9. Angel Has Fallen fell sharply from number 3 to number 8. Good Boys fell from number 4 to number 7. The Lion King fell from number 5 to number 6. Hustlers went from number 2 to number 5. It, Chapter 2, fell big from number 1 to number 4, raking it, losing half of its box office, 57%. Its total box office now is 178,927,041. Rambo: Last Blood, brand new to this week, started at number 3. Ad Astra slotted in, brand new, at number 2. And Downton Abbey came in at number 1, bringing in $31 million. I've never watched Downton Abbey. I actually have the first season over on the shelf. My wife wanted to watch it, but we've just never gotten around to actually watching it. So, and with that, let's that brings us to the end of another edition of Multiverse Tonight. Be sure to check us out on our social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as Multiverse Tonight as well. And if you'd like to contribute some money, please go visit mtpodcast.com to go to our Coffee or Patreon as well. And be sure to visit multiversetonight.com to check out our affiliate marketplace links, the link to our TeePublic store, our show notes, and so much more. And if you're a subscriber, please be sure to share us with your friends. And if you're brand new to the show, please be sure to subscribe and leave us with some feedback and let us know how we're doing. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for our intro music and Lobo Loco for our outro music theme. Thanks for watching the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 days with the comic book edition. Now, please, exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Alright, stop the recording there, and I'll get things set up here for the next show. I think that went okay. It's not the... okay. Round 2. Fight! Ding! Alright, let's bring up our notes. You ready? And... Tonight, the Suicide Squad is fully loaded. Will the new Avengers ever see the screen? And if you love the Lego Movie, you'll love Funkos. All that and more on this edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the comics edition of Multiverse Tonight. For starters, I'd like to thank you all. For a little while, the podcast hit #1 on the Apple Podcast Entertainment News chart. We actually managed to dethrone Chris Jericho. So, thank you very much. Not that I put something big, about being on the podcast charts at all, but nice little feather in the cap. You know, it looks good on a t-shirt. It reminds me, I gotta put that on a t-shirt. Did you catch the Emmy Awards this past Sunday? You know, I watched and was bored. And looking at the ratings, it looks like everyone else was too. I just had no real interest in the main ceremony. Heck, I'm actually surprised that Game of Thrones won Best Drama considering how disliked this last season seemed to be. I don't know why they didn't all turn to George, who was on the stage, of course, and tell him that he wasn't leaving the Microsoft Theater until he finished the damn book. Anyway, let's talk news. DC. James Gunn dropped a cast list poster for the Suicide Squad, and it's a big one. The cast includes, this is going to be a long list, folks, David Dash Mulligan, John Cena, Jai Courtney, Joaquin Cosio, Nathan Fillion, Joel Kinnaman, Mylene Enig, Flula Borg, Sean Gunn, Juan Diego Botto, Storm Reed, Pete Davidson, Tiki Watiti, Alicia Braga, Steve G, Tanashi Keishi, Daniela McCore, Pierre Cabaldi, Julio Ruiz, Jennifer Holland, Viola Davis, Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, and Michael Rooker. That's a long list. However, I really don't expect that we'll get more from the movie than that. Mr. Gunn, replying to a fan's plea for more information, received the response, quote, "Some characters will get out. Some already have, although some reported on, including from reputable sources, have been wrong. But in honesty, I don't know if we'll officially release character info for a long, long while to come," unquote. You know, I'm still betting that half of these actors will get their characters killed in the first 5 minutes. What do you think? Want to put down some money on that? Joker comes out on October 4th, and its runtime will be just a couple of minutes over 2 hours. Literally, 2 hours, 2 minutes. Comicbook.com, speaking with director Todd Phillips at an advanced screening for the movie, told them that the first cut was a bit longer, coming in at, quote, 2 hours and 35 minutes, unquote. Adding, he said, quote, "There are so many cuts," unquote. While Todd Phillips was there, he also wanted to correct a story that we too talked about in the last comic book edition of the podcast. In the piece in Empire Magazine, Todd was quoted saying that such things as the Joker falling into a vat of acid was a comic book thing. Todd told comicbook.com that, quote, "It's funny because a lot of you guys have probably reprinted something I said in Empire where I was misquoted. I'm not going to complain. I like the writer. He wrote a great piece where I said we didn't take anything from the comic book world. It's actually not what I said. What I said was we didn't take anything from one particular comic. We kind of picked and chose what we liked from the kind of 80-year canon of Joker. We kind of pulled a few things that we like," unquote. He also addressed that the unknown time period that the film is set in, saying, quote, "For us, we never say in the movie it's 1981, but we always say it's late 70s, early 80s, mainly because we don't want people to be like, wow, that car wasn't out in 1979, so late 70s, early 80s. But the time for me, the reason we said it there, well, there's a lot of reasons. One reason was to separate it, quite frankly, from the DC universe. When I pitched to Warner Brothers and handed the script in to sort of make it clear that this effing with anything you have this isn't effing with anything you have going on. This is like a separate universe. So much so it takes place in the past before everything else," unquote. So let's sum this up. They cherry-picked comic book references and were non-committal to the exact time period that the film takes place. Yeah, this is still not the movie for me. You know, do me a favor. If you go and see it, record yourself and send me a review, and maybe I'll use it in an upcoming episode because I'm just probably not going to see this movie at all. It's just not really something that's in my alley. Anyway, did you happen to see the bat symbol anywhere this past Saturday? To celebrate Batman's 80th anniversary, DC and Warner Brothers arranged for the bat symbol to light up landmarks and skyscrapers around the world. Pam Lifford, president of Warner Brothers Global Brands and Experiences, in a press release said about the event, quote, "The bat signal is easily one of the most recognizable images among all superhero iconography, and this is going to be a remarkable sight as we transcend borders, languages, and cultures to bring us all together with this single experience. We are proud to send up the bat signal on Batman Day because it is an important beacon of inspiration that makes us all believe that it's possible to take hardship and turn it into something good. Batman Day is a global celebration for all the fans." Unquote. So, did you do anything special to celebrate the Batman? Personally, I waited for Commissioner Gordon to call. Still waiting. Issue 18 of Superman and Issue 7 of Lois Lane will be a big change to the status quo, as Superman and Lois will come clean with the city of Metropolis and reveal his secret identity. The solicitation for Superman goes like this. With Superman's family scattered across the galaxy, our hero must confront some of his greatest concerns about himself and his place in the galaxy. Legendary artist Ivan Reis joins writer Brian Michael Bendis as they introduce the biggest change in the Man of Steel's life ever. As for Lois Lane number 7, is this someone wanting to kill Lois Lane? Is nothing new for the famed reporter, but is it because of something she knows or something she's about to uncover? Plus the issues that ties to the events of December's Superman number 18 and the gigantic status quo shift for both Lois and her husband, Superman. When the Man of Steel decides to reveal his identity to the world, what will this mean for them in the future? Superman number 18 goes on shelves on December 11th, and Lois Lane number 7 will be out on New Year's Day 2020. And while Superman might be canceling his secret identity, DC is, canceling a title. They seem to do that a lot. This time, it's Deathstroke, which will be coming to a close with number 50. The solicitation for the issue reads, quote, "It all comes down to this. With the fate of his family hanging in the balance, the real Slade Wilson must take on his most dangerous foe yet, himself." Unquote. So it's Deathstroke versus Deathstroke to the death. Stroke. Guess we will find out who wins on December 4th. And in an exclusive to Deadline.com, it has been revealed that Jonah Hill is in talks to play a villain in the upcoming The Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson. This news comes right on the heels of another piece of casting news for the movie, that Westworld's Jeffrey Wright is in talks to play Commissioner Gordon. The movie will hit theaters in June of 2021. Hey everyone, we'll get right back to the news, but first, I'd like to tell you about our new affiliate, Stitcher Premium. With Stitcher Premium, you get all your favorite podcasts, but you get them all with no ads. That's right, no audio ads, no banner ads, not even ads on the archives of some of your favorite shows. You also get access to Stitch originals like Marvel's Wolverine, The Long Night, Issa Rae's Fruit, and Colt Cabana's Pro Wrestling Fringe. You also get access to bonus episodes, access to new releases first, and access to the hundreds of comedy albums at your fingertips, and so much more. To get started, just go to Stitcher.com/premium and enter promo code Multiverse for a free month. After that, pay just $4.99 a month, and you can save even more by going yearly for just $34.99. That's nearly a $25 savings over the monthly rate. So go to Stitcher.com/premium and enter promo code Multiverse today. I'd like to thank our new association with Stitcher for allowing me to get a drink of water. They're so nice, and go sign up for 1 month, a month of Stitcher Premium, will ya? It's only 1 month. Set a timer for a month, and if you're not happy with what they give you at the end of those 30 days, cancel it. You owe nothing, but you get to hear, all that great content, including that Wolverine audio stories. Anyway, let's get on with the Marvel news. Production for the Marvel Hulu series Hellstrom might be just a few days from starting in Vancouver, but they're still casting some characters. According to comicbook.com, the series is looking for someone to play Damon and Satana Hellstrom, and Marduk, their demon father. According to an unconfirmed report, they're looking for an actor in the 40 or 50-year range to play Marduk, and actors in their 20s or 30s to play Damon and Anna. The show, quote, follows Damon and Anna Hellstrom, the son and daughter of a mysterious and powerful serial killer who used their powers to track down the worst of humanity, unquote. Now, while news about all the new Marvel shows is still slowly creeping its way out, one show might just be DOA. The Marvel show, The New Warriors, seems to be in development hell, as a report has surfaced that the show was rejected by Freeform. Although the report is as of yet unconfirmed, its status has been up in the air for a while now, as this show has been in limbo for at least 3 years. So I guess we'll just have to sit here in limbo as well until we get that confirmation about the show. That's called due diligence, folks. Marvel Comics has officially confirmed who is the most powerful mutant in the Marvel Universe. In the history of the Marvel Universe, number 3, in the comic, a dying Galactus at the end of the dying universe tells an adult and very old, but looking good, Franklin Richards, that he is the most powerful mutant ever, due to his ability to literally manipulate the reality of the universe and create new universes. One of the big surprises of D23 was the news that the next Thor movie, Thor: Love and Thunder, was going to have Natalie Portman back in the series, and she'd get to be the Thor. Director Taika Waititi has revealed to MTV News which Thor will be the main attraction in the movie. He told MTV News that, quote, it's Chris Hemsworth. It's a Thor film. He is Thor. It's a Thor film. She's in it, unquote. So there you have it, folks. He's Thor. But we do know she will get to wield the hammer, which also makes her Thor. But I guess we'll have to, knock this back and forth for a long time, because this movie isn't due out until 2021. It looks like Disney wants an Oscar for Endgame. The company now has a placeholder page for the Avengers Endgame. Excuse me, let's try that again. It looks like Disney wants an Oscar for the Endgame. The company now has a placeholder page for Avengers Endgame on its For Your Consideration page. It's promoting Avengers Endgame, the live-action Aladdin, Toy Story 4, the live-action Lion King, and the upcoming Frozen 2, although it should be noted that Disney has yet to announce these submissions. They're also expected to announce that they want Robert Downey Jr. to get a Best Actor nomination as well. I think he's earned it. 3,000. We also have some news on the Disney Plus Ms. Marvel series. A new report out of Discussing Film says that the new series will be filming a year starting this month, September 2020. They also mentioned that they are looking for an unknown to play the main role of Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel. By the way, Disney has now opened up signups for Disney Plus. The service will start on November 12th, and you can sign up at DisneyPlus.com with a credit card or through PayPal. The bundle with Hulu won't be available for sign up until the service starts. The cost of the service is $6.99 a month or $69.99 a year. So go there and sign up. But in the meantime, let's get some geek news. The Harbinger movie, based on the Valiant comic book, has changed studios. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that it's gone from Sony to Paramount. Nothing else has changed. It's the same director, same writer, etc. However, it will not go into production for quite some time. Interestingly enough, this was supposed to be part of a shared universe, akin to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, another part of this universe, Bloodshot, which will star Vin Diesel, is still set to come out from Sony next year. The only good news here is that the VCU might not be entirely dead. Bloodshot is now the only Valiant property Sony has licensed through Valiant, and it's not really a cornerstone of the Valiant universe, so they can still make the Valiant Cinematic Universe just without Bloodshot. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The Netflix adaptation of the Mark Millar and Frank Quitely's Jupiter's Legacy comic has lost its showrunner. Stephen S. DeKnight, who co-created and ran the first season of Marvel's Daredevil for Netflix, has leftover creative differences. According to Deadline, Mr. DeKnight has an overall deal with Netflix and left Jupiter's Legacy halfway through the filming of the 8-episode season. Netflix is, of course, not going to let the chair cool long. Production will not be halted while they search for a new showrunner. The series is described as, quote, what would happen if a hero like Superman married Wonder Woman and had children, and those children grew up in the age of reality TV, unquote. It stars Josh Duhamel, Leslie Bibb, Elena Kampouris, and Andrew Horton. Amazon's The Boys is a winner. According to new data obtained by ScreenRant.com, the series is more popular than the Netflix Marvel shows. The data from Pair Analytics shows that The Boys had 50 million demand expressions per day in its 5th week since release. In comparison, the first seasons of the Netflix shows tended to get around 15 or 20 million demand expressions a day for the same time frame. The Boys is currently filming its 2nd season. So, you loved the Lego Movie and its cross-pollination of characters. Well, Warner Brothers is trying to hit pay dirt again with a different set of toys, Funko Pops. Deadline reports that Warner's has optioned the rights to the popular brand and will be developing and producing a movie based on them. Lloyd Taylor has been hired to write a script. Funko CEO Brian Mariotti said about the partnership, quote, we're thrilled for this opportunity and we are committed to making an amazing Funko movie that stands on its own merit. This isn't about selling toys or building a brand. The team at Warner Animation Group has a unique vision of what the first film should be, and we are extremely excited to take this journey alongside them, unquote. Maybe they should call it Funko Pops Out of the Box, since no one ever takes theirs out of the box. I don't. Do you? Now, let's go over some of the winners from this year's Saturn Awards. Avengers Endgame walked away with 6 awards, including Best Comic to Film Motion Picture, Best Actor Robert Downey Jr., Best Production Design, Best Editing Best Makeup, and Best Fantasy TV. Best Actors, Emilia Clarke. Best Supporting Actor, Peter Dinklage. And Best Younger Actor, Maisie Williams. In the streaming category, Star Trek Discovery was the big winner, with 3 awards including Best Streaming Series, Best Streaming Actress, Sonequa Martin Green, and Best Streaming Supporting Actor, Doug Jones. Ready Player One, Toy Story 4, Superman, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Daredevil, The Walking Dead, Stranger Things, all walked away with awards. And we'll have a full list on the website. Jeff Loeb also got the Dan Curtis Legacy Award, Jon Favreau won the Visionary Award, and Kevin Feige got the Stan Lee World Builder Award. Rick and Morty producer J. Michael Mendel has passed away. The news was confirmed by Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland with the following tweet, quote, "My friend, partner, and line producer Mike Mendel passed away. I am devastated. My heart breaks for his family. I don't know what I'm going to do without you by my side, Mike. I'm destroyed." Unquote. Mike served as an associate producer on The Simpsons for the show's first 5 seasons and continued to produce episodes until season 10. After that, he went on to produce animated shows such as The PJs, Drawn Together, and Sit Down, Shut Up. He also served as an associate producer on Jerry Maguire. Starting in 2013, Mr. Mendel served as the producer on Rick and Morty, having a hand in 22 of the show's episodes. His most recent episode was the show's third season premiere, The Rick Shank Redemption. During his career, he earned 7 nominations and 4 wins at the Emmys, winning for The Simpsons in 1995, 1997, and 1998, as well as for the Rick and Morty Pickle Rick episode last year. Mendel is survived by his wife, fellow Emmy Award winner and casting director Jewel Bestrop. He died at home from natural causes. He was 54 years old. Yeah, that's tough. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the comic book news. Now, be sure to check us out on our social media. We're at Twitter, at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you'd like to contribute some money, please visit mtpodcast.com to go to our Ko-fi or Patreon as well. And be sure to visit multiversetonight.com to check out our affiliate marketplace links, the link to our TeePublic store, our show notes, and so much more. And if you're a subscriber, please be sure to share us with your friends. You know, we're all one big happy show. And if you're brand new to the show, please be sure to subscribe and leave us with some feedback, and just let us know how we're doing. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for our intro music and Lobo Loco for our outro music theme. Thanks for watching the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the sci-fi edition. Now, please, exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. See by the glowing red light, we're still recording. Just a little over an hour. As I told you, this was going to be quite a show. Yeah. Being guarded by a dog. There she goes. Well, I hope you learned something. Yeah. I hope you continue to learn things. Yeah. Batman Day. Should have Batman. This is ceramic too. I don't use it. Just sits at the edge of my desk. Anyway, I thank you for watching me today. If you have, if not, you know, thank you for watching me in the future. Greetings from the past. And be sure to check us out. Good night.